Yo yo yo, new day, new day. I have just watched the last episode of Lazarus twice, and I still do not know how to feel about the show. It's I don't know. It's hard for me to say because I really want to love this show, but it did not have the ending that I wished for. Or at least not that I could pick up on. So the thing is, yeah, I get the point of the ending. Because the entire point of Lazarus, for those who don't know, is slightly into the future of our own world. It's somewhat realistic depiction of the future world, like, I don't know, 2050 or something. And the entire world has been taking drugs for just, pain relief, essentially. Like, the pain relief medication that everybody is just fucking addicted to. Which sounds great, there's no downside to that at all. But, that just means that the world has grown fucking numb to absolutely everything. Which is a cool-ass setup. But the cooler setup is that the guy who made this drug is essentially just, he has come out of hiding, he's just disappeared. He's come out of hiding and said that, yo, everybody on Earth who has taken this drug has fucking 30 days left to live. And, like, if that is not a fucking hook to a show, I don't know what is. But the thing that makes this show extra good is just the fact that it knows, like, it's painfully realistic at some points, right? Like, I don't really see another show. I don't see, like, yet another anime of the week I gotta watch. No, this is a fucking, like, basically a mirror of our world. Just like in a very shitty ass circumstance. But the thing that makes this hit hard is the fact that everybody gets told this, like, it's a live, like, worldwide broadcast that, yo, everybody's gonna die in 30 days. The world is just gonna fucking tumble over and burn, right? But nobody fucking cares, which is kinda the point that this Dr. Skinner guy is trying to make. That he has the antidote, somebody just needs to get off their ass and find him. And nobody fucking does. Because they do not care. They're growing numb. They don't give a fuck. Which is cool as fuck. I love the vibe of this show. Also, it's the same guy who made fucking Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy, two top tiers. So, god, it's fuck. I don't know, I just got off the last episode here, or what I presume very much is the last episode, and I still don't know how to feel, because over the course of the entire show, it has been banger episode after banger episode, and, everything has been paid off, and everything, like, it seems like the production is fucking through the roof. Everybody knows what they're doing. And they know they have a certain direction to go with the story. But I do not feel like it has been paid off in the way that I want it to. Yes, it has been paid off, but I don't know, it feels kind of weird. It kind of hurts. Because I feel like it's very much just... all the characters end up kinda one note-ish. Like, our main character, fucking Axel, he's not really that interesting anymore after watching the last episode. He's just a fucking... He's just a guy who likes to kick ass and, beat up bad guys. And that's basically his entire shtick. Yeah, he has some... he has more than the bare minimum, right? but in terms of like what I expected, I don't know. I would have liked, at least in this last episode, that was like kind of the last point. I don't know. There might still be something there because I feel like there is so much shit to pick up on. I don't know. At some point during this watch through, you know, I've also watched it weekly, so there's probably something I missed in terms of you know, the fucking relation the main character has throughout the thing, throughout the show. For example, his like. What I expected would happen here in the last episode is Axel's connections to the Hundun project, which is essentially just, you know, another showcase of the world being fucking shitty and full of ass moments. It's essentially like a program to train assassins to be like emotionless killing machines. Inspired by this mythical creature, the Hundun, from Chinese mythology. That is basically just a faceless creature, but people dig holes into it to make like a face and like eyes and a mouth and, you know, shit like that into the creature. But as they make more and more, obviously this takes a fucking toll on the creature and eventually it dies. So, you know, there's something there, and because it's Chinese mythology, I don't know what the fuck a Hundun is, other than what the show has told me, and that, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of, like, religious, clues that, I don't know, I'm not all caught up to my, religion lore here, I gotta be honest. Also, like, the entire show is called Lazarus, which I do not know enough about Lazarus. I know he's a guy, he has something to do with Jesus, and he is, I think, one of Jesus' followers that also resurrected, either with him or like, you know, I don't know, I don't fucking know. He resurrected after he died, which is, I think it's gonna be a metaphor for like the entire show, aka the entire world, but it's not really, it's kind of flipped on its head. Because it's kind of like this team, Lazarus, is saving the world. This, the main characters are a team called Lazarus. They're essentially, their job right now is to try and find Dr. Skinner, because Dr. Skinner has the cure for he has the medicine cure, right? But, you know, spoiler alert, they end up finding Dr. Skinner, because otherwise it wouldn't be a really good show. But they find him here in the last episode, in a place that they've already been. Just down the fucking docks by the homeless camps. Dr. Skinner's just chilling there. He has sent our main characters on a wild fucking goose chase all across the world. And he was just there in the backyard of where our main characters were. Which is really fucking cool. But I feel like, I don't know, I don't know, this final confrontation showdown, which was basically the entirety of the last episode, is kinda, I don't know, not underwhelming, because I feel, well, I can say underwhelming, sure, because the entire show has been building up to this point, and being like, yeah, Dr. Skinner, this guy, you know, we see as the show goes on that the world is actually a pretty shitty place, right? So, this Dr. Skinner guy might have something, you know, he might not be totally fucking insane, even though he literally poisoned the entire world. He might not be totally insane. And that is also kind of the conclusion, but, you know, the thing is that the conclusion to this entire show is just so foreseeable. There's not really a lot to that I didn't expect from the show. In the, you know, in terms of like, I don't know, I could everything was really predictable in the ending, and it makes sense, but I do not like it, you know? Also the whole, like, you know, now they found Dr. Skinner, they got the antidote. now this Team Lazarus is technically like, oh, we're done here. We did our thing. Bye now, guys. Then the leader of, or I guess the founder of the Team Lazarus comes along and says, yo, how about we all join Lazarus again? Because I don't know, he would hate to break up such a good team that has, you know, found fucking Dr. Skinner. And basically saved the entire world. Not that the world cares, mind you. That's something I also want to touch on, but the conclusion to that is basically all the guys are standing there like, well, yeah, sure, we can roll around as Team Lazarus again. That's not a problem. But the only one who hesitates for a moment is our fucking main character, Axel, which was a really, I don't know, I feel rug pulled somehow by that moment, because obviously he ends up saying yes with very little resistance, but there was a little tiny bit of resistance, which was like, yeah, we are in the literal final minutes of the entire show, but, you know, if he had just said no, that would add so much more complexity to his character. Like, yeah, I did what I was set out to do here, or basically was forced to do, but I don't like being forced to do things, so I'm gonna fucking dip from this. Even though everybody else said yes, I'm not gonna stay in Lazarus. I don't know, I feel like, you know, he could be recruited later or something, but just in that moment, him saying yes with very little resistance, the fact that there was resistance there, it kind of hurts me. Also the same thing with Dr. Skinner, kinda. He feels predictable. Not that he doesn't feel realistic, but, you know, he's just, I don't know, it's kind of you know, the feeling you get when somebody says the, you know, fuck it, I don't know, racism bad, you know, like, wow, what a brave statement to make, right? It's kind of the same thing here. Like, the entire conclusion to the show is that, yeah, the world fucking sucks, but there are some good parts in it, right? And that is, like, no joke, that is literally the conclusion to the show, which is why I feel so weird. Because, I don't know, in my mind, I had mentally prepared myself for this show being about the literal end of the world, and the conclusion being just, you know, also, I feel like there were no real repercussions to Hapna, being, you know, to the whole everybody's gonna die, right? Because realistically, nobody, like, not everybody is gonna, like, have taken Hapna at the same time, and therefore, not everybody is just gonna drop dead at the same time when that 30 days hits. They're just gonna fucking die, everybody, the entire world is gonna die, right? No, that's not the fucking case. So it's kind of spread out like that, but it's not laid out like that in the show. Really, we see it sometimes, but it's mostly from people who have taken Hapna, like, early on, as kind of like experimental phases. For example, the fucking, there's not a lot of them, so let me think this through. There is the president, who has, what the fuck? Did I just fly? Okay, wait, let me fucking try something real quick. Damn. Huh. You go so much higher up than I thought you did. I guess I should just do the nail art some more. Anyway, I'm not done with my rant, so let's do another run. I also missed yesterday, so there's that. Where did I leave off? Yeah, some people do have these, they don't die, because, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that nobody actually fucking dies from this Hapna thing. Everybody, that's also kind of something that rubs me the wrong way, because it doesn't seem like this show, you know, has any problems, you know, they don't really pull their punches when it comes to, like, darker things, darker themes touching upon them. They have the entire Hundan program, right, that I just talked about. Just as one example, like, they don't care, so at least let somebody die. But no, literally nobody fucking dies from Hopna, which really sucks, which feels weird to say, but it really sucks, right? Because it just feels like the stakes are just kind of removed in hindsight. Like, the most that happens is that, you know, for example, the president here and the Dr. Skinner himself, you know, a couple others, I guess, they have this, like, I don't know, kind of like jaded side. They have some really fucking cool eyes, essentially, where their eyes turn blue and their pupils kind of turn into this, I don't know, almost like solar system star like pattern. I don't know how to explain it. It looks really fucking cool, but they don't really show it that often. That's also, I don't know, a smaller problem that I have with the show, but they have the potential to have such a cool looking, like, such cool looking guys that also feel kind of like, okay, the stakes have been raised. Like, we see nearly everybody now with, like, either half transformed or fully transformed eyes. Like, they're literally going blind, they're going numb throughout their entire bodies, and it I don't know, they just don't really do that. Even here at the very end, when they, you know, it's clear to see that Dr. Skinner has these eyes and they look really fucking cool, but he just doesn't have his eyes opened. I don't know why it feels wrong. Like, it feels like they're trying to hide something, or like I don't know, like the show is cutting costs from, like, oh, these eyes are too expensive to draw or some shit like that. Which is just not the case. It's just fucking, like, even if it was the same, like, layer they used on the eyes over and over again, I would have been happy. Just show me more of the eyes. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of, like, small grapes that I have with the show, but it's still a fucking great show. It's just that it's not a 10 out of 10. It could have easily been a 10 out of 10. Again, in my mind, right, and I don't know, this kind of flies in the face of the thing I said before about the show being predictable. But I kind of wanted the show to surprise me, but my headcanon was that, as I said, this show was about the world ending, the world just fucking fumbling hard, and again, these, like, fucking, I think they said 10 billion people in the world at this point in the future. They just had to find one guy, and there was nothing more to it. They just had to find him, and he would give them the cure. But Dr. Skinner knew that nobody would give a shit, because the world is just so fucked up, and nobody can feel the pain anymore of, like, the... I don't know, but then again, he gave Hopna to the world, essentially, so, you know, there's kind of like a conflict of interest there, which is why I think I need to watch the show again. Because there's definitely something I missed. I hope so, because I wanna understand Skinner more than I do. Because the entire thing is basically he has lost faith in humanity, and this is like his final test, right? That's also something we get to, you know, we get Skinner's full motivation in this last episode, which is why I watched it twice, but I'm still not fully convinced of his whole thing. So he has essentially made this drug, right? And this drug has been, I don't know, bought or taken or something by some country, and turned into a fucking bio weapon, just under the noses of everybody. and only a handful of people has this knowledge, including Dr. Skinner. Dr. Skinner then goes out into the world and tries to get this information out there that, yo, these guys are building a fucking super weapon out of my medical cure drug. And he basically gets fucking literally fucking shot at a random airport. I don't know. We've seen this airport scene just like once in a while before, but essentially he got fucking shot up, and the thing he had in his bag. Oh god, it's so much to explain. Am I gonna explain it? Shit, I guess I am. I'm just spoiling the entire show at this point. My bad. But Dr. Skinner had, because he wanted to show this to the world that they're building a bioweapon, he had, I don't know if it was the thing he made or the bioweapon itself, but he had that in a briefcase at the airport. So when this country that wanted to stop him from leaking information to the world tried to fucking shoot him down as part of like just a quote-unquote terrorist attack, right? Damn, he just shot me in the face. Damn. Dr. Skinner kind of fucking lost faith in the entire world, because they also just kind of shot civilians, and they leaked the like this gas of some sort was leaked in the airport, and a lot of people just straight up fucking died from that. Some of the people, however, just like live on air mutated their genes while they were dead, and they basically revived. And those are the members of Team Lazarus. Therefore, their name Lazarus, because Lazarus, you know, the whole fucking resurrection thing. But again, I feel like there's more to it, like symbolically, like, you know, the world being resurrected or something. But it doesn't really fit, right? I don't know. It's weird. But basically, Dr. Skinner's whole shtick comes from there. That moment in the airport where he finally just snaps. And he loses... And he loses complete faith in all of humanity. And that's kinda it. Then he spreads this Hopna thing, aka the fucking... the thing that is gonna kill everybody. He leaked that to the entire world. So that eventually it was gonna be a problem that nobody could really ignore. Like, the thing leaks itself, you know? But his plan kind of backfired, because nobody gave a shit. And that's kind of the part, like, I'm kind of conflicted in what Dr. Skinner knew and what he didn't know. Because it feels like both. It feels like the show's trying to convey that, oh, Skinner knew all along that humanity was gonna fumble this hard. But, like, why did he give them the drug in the first place if his, like, whole motivation was to leak it to the world so they couldn't ignore it? I don't know. That might just be the interpretation of another character, though. But I'm not sure. And I don't know. I feel like at the end of the show you should be sure. And there's of course a lot of different ways to end the show, right? But I feel like there should at least be, in this type of situation, there should at least be several clear answers that you can debate back and forth. Like, yeah, this is definitely possible. There's nothing, like, contradicting this. But it could also be this other thing that is motivating him. But these two things are literally contradicting each other, unless there was at some point during this 3-year time period where Dr. Skinner's just away, he's just gone from the world, that he changes his mind, which it feels like throughout the show. But they say, fucking Hirsch, the I don't know, the quote-unquote leader of Lazarus, who also knew Dr. Skinner from way back when, she says that he hasn't fucking changed at all. Dr. Skinner is the same guy from way back then. Good game, good game. And that is kinda, you know, destroying the entire, you know, his motivations are contradicting themselves, I think. But again, I desperately hope that there's something I missed in the, like, maybe, like, the earlier episodes. But that does not change the ending of the entire show, because the ending essentially is, you know, the most interesting part, I think, of the ending is that the world, like, the world's reaction to somebody finding the cure and somebody finally getting, you know, the world not actually ending, not everybody is dying, is really interesting, because you first of all see, like, yeah, this, on the final day here, where Axel needs to go up and meet with the, or he doesn't need to, but he goes up and meets with the assassin guy that tried to kill him last episode, and they basically extreme diffed each other. They're now having a final showdown on the top of, like, what is it called, Babylonia Tower, where the angel watches, right? Because it's, there's a guardian angel or something guarding the... Again, there's a lot of, like, biblical shit right here that is... I cannot get a grasp on all of it. It would be impossible to do. But the thing is, they are being regarded as terrorists, Axel and Assassin Guy. I think his name is just HQ, was it not? I don't know. They're being regarded as terrorists, and everybody is being told to evacuate the place. And, like, this is literally the last day that they can be alive. The entire world is being told, they have been publicly told, that, yeah, this is your last day alive, unless somebody finds the medicine cure. And, you know, people give way more fucks about this terrorist attack than they do finding Dr. Skinner, which is, you know, again, this feeling of the entirety of humanity having a really twisted sense of, like, what's important. Like, you know, issues that are immediately in front of them. Yeah, those are big-ass problems, but, you know, if it feels a little too out of reach, for example, you know, going out there, lifting your ass up and finding Dr. Skinner somewhere out there, because, you know, let's be honest, if everybody got out of their ass and tried to find Dr. Skinner, they would have done it within the first day, but they didn't. And, you know, they take this terrorist attack way more seriously than they have ever done the threat of Dr. Skinner's Hapna drug. So, you know, the thing is, after everything is said and done, after we, essentially, you know, the credits roll and we see the world going back to normal, and that is kind of one of my problems. Not that I hate it, but that's something I need to get through to my head, is the message that this show tries to get across. That the world, you know, just fucking moves on no matter what. And I don't know, I'm still trying to get a grasp of, like, what that means in terms of, like, the entire show. But shit, there's so much going through my head right now. I don't know. I don't know what the point of the show is anymore. Essentially, everybody in the fucking world, you know, there's the first episode where everybody gets told, oh, you have 30 days to live. Everybody just goes on with their merry old way. They just go on and do their business as usual, right? That's even like a mini arc in, like, an episode or two, that we go to a club and everybody is just like partying as normal. And you know, that really, I don't know, we have like a little montage of just the world going on as nothing had happened whatsoever. But we also, in this last episode, see a mirror of basically the exact same thing. Like, the world just doesn't care. They didn't care that they were being, that they had 30 days left to live, and now they do not care that somebody actually, like, you know, what pains me kinda is that the world is right. Right? The mentality of the common folk are proven right. That if they just leave this alone, somebody else will fix it. And yes, sure they did, but only by a fucking... the thread of a... thread of a needle? Is that a... I don't know if that fits here. But holy shit, it was close. Because it was literally the last fucking day. But they were proven right. Somebody did fix all their problems for them while they just went on, you know, by their fucking shit. And I don't know, it feels weird that that's the conclusion, that nobody fucking cares, but I can definitely see it. It was either gonna be that, or, you know, as I said, the entire world just ending right then and there, or humanity at least ending right then and there, and only a handful of them surviving. For example, our main characters in Lazarus, and we also get introduced to a small tribe of people who have inspired the Hapna drug, and that just, like, their entire shtick is that they can't feel pain, and that is also Hapna's entire shtick. So, like, I don't know, good game. I don't really know what the conclusion is here. And I feel so conflicted. I'm probably gonna watch the entire thing again at some point in the near future. And I'm hopefully gonna have a way clearer answer. Again, I'm hoping desperately that I'm missing something obvious. That really just explains everything. I don't know, I was hoping everything was explained in an epilogue also, but it really wasn't. So, yeah, also, again, I don't know, it feels kind of weird that our main, we have a main character who is not really that relevant to the fucking plot. Like, yeah, his abilities matter, but his background does not fucking matter whatsoever. At least from what we've been told. It's kinda implied, I guess, that he himself is also from this Hundun program, but he has, like, you know, escaped the algorithm. Sure. He has escaped the Matrix here, right? Because he did have the answer, and it seems like, you know, from what I know, from what we know now from this assassin guy, when you know the answer, you're basically brainwashed in the Hundun program. But when you get unbrainwashed through something, I don't really know what, you get your memories back, and you are unbrainwashed, and you know the answer to the Hundun that, you know, on this on the final day, the Hundun fucking dies. So there's that. But how did Axel actually know about this? The only reasonable answer I can come to is, one, that Axel just knows a hell of a lot about Chinese mythology for some reason, or two, that Axel himself was a part of the Hundun program, or at least had something to do with it, or, you know, has had something to do with it. I don't fucking know. But we don't get told that explicitly, and that's kind of my problem, is that it's just left up to, like, it's a weird selection of things that are left up to interpretation, and a lot of them I would just like answers to, because it's not, I don't know, it's it's not really that fun to like speculate about these sorts of things. I would just like to have the answer, and then I could come to the conclusion that yeah, our main character is actually a like somewhat complex character. But again, then we come back to the thing that he's just a guy who likes to beat up bad guys. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to marinate on the show. And as much as I have to say of bad things about it, I fucking love this show. It has a bitter aftertaste. As I've just gotten off the last episode. But anyway, that was it for today, I guess. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.